Zoun, DRG, Pure. 2021 GSL Season 3 Code S. Africa TV Free Cup Studio Live 2021 GSL Season 3.
That was the translator Andy announcing the show. We were just talking to him. It was crazy. It's crazy. I was like,
I know him, guys.
I was like, you're like the
with him.
GSL translator and announcer, and like I'm just here with you, talking to you right now. Like you're a real person.
Hard to believe.
Hard to believe. But somebody's got to do it.
That's right. He's so brave.
These games, by the way, won't cast themselves.
I'm enjoying tonight. Even well, not the first series, but everything since then has been pretty neat.
Well, the first series was kind of weird. It's like, so does that work in other games, Zoun? What are you?
No.
What are you doing?
How far down the ladder do you have to go to get someone who doesn't know how this fight's gonna go?
It's like, that's strange. This beats my 12-year-old cousin all the time. It's like, well, Rogue is a different Zerg. So I don't know what this is going to look like.
No.
We've barely gotten to see what DRG can show us because he's been cheesed out.
Yeah.
He's lost.
We have no idea what shape he's in because, like, Kira really caught him with a couple builds, and he didn't have time to do anything. It's just like the stuff got there, and he's like, oh, damn.
I want to see if Zoun's play looks like the last game and if it works versus DRG, or if Zoun can reinvent himself tonight, because Zoun may be knocked out first.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, let's just see. Let's just see.
Meanwhile, Kira thinking of 2 more cheeses to try to knock DRG out again.
GSL Season 3 Code S. Alpha X Zoun. Team NV DRG.
Well, the probe's already here, so get that drone right on by. Just double checking about the hatch. Okay. Well, how we doing, Tasteless?
You know what? I'm doing all right.
That's good. You deserve to do well.
Thank you, Artosis. No, it's been an interesting day. I'm really in a great mood from that awesome late game TVZ. I'm really impressed with how Rogue handled that. Rogue really kind of did what I thought was going to be impossible in that game, where it's like, oh, you really are going to expand on the Terran side of the map and play that. That's very, very hard to pull off, and he made it work.
I like that type of tempo play a lot. I think it's really entertaining because so oftentimes the easier thing in a lot of ways is to just like make some brute lords and like grind out the game instead of try to go for the kill. And I like seeing Kira bring this like very kind of archaic way of playing the late game of Liberator, Ghost, Turret, you know, was the main pieces of his composition.
Yeah.
Really, really interesting game. That was cool. I hope that we can see some more stuff like that. I'm actually kind of hoping that DRG is able to win this because I do want to see some more Kira TVZ tonight. I'm kind of hooked, man.
Yeah, well, he's really gone and done a big deep dive into that whole matchup, but it's kind of funny to see the Kira sort of, at least for the first half of Group C, had basically planned out exactly how to just get a win right away.
Yeah.
Just get that win before they realize what's coming. But then in that last game, it's like, oh, you're like really strong in general.
Twilight coming down. And
we saw some adepts in the first game of the night, actually, that was Zoun versus Rogue. He went for adept pressure. It wasn't all in. It wasn't like, you know, he has to end the game there. But he kept the Zerg honest. But then he went into Void Rays, and Rogue just like made Banes and Hydras and ran him over. I don't know if we're going to have anything like that in this game, but we should point out that we kind of left the Zoun games with a lot of question marks.
Yeah.
Just seemed, I don't understand the decision making or what he thought Rogue was doing. This actually will happen to people in StarCraft games where they're like making something and they think they're playing a certain matchup in a certain way, and they have not actually noticed what the other side is making. You know what I'm talking about? Where they get there and you're like, oh, you only have Hydras and Banes, and then they lose the game.
That's, yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
At
Where
the
it's
pro
like,
level, it's not really supposed to ever look like that, though.
But that's my only explanation that I can have for how that game went, where it's like, did you think he was making roaches this game or something?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, no, totally.
Like,
all right, so this game, it is a Glaives build with a Prism, but he's going Dark Shrine behind. So that's, I mean, obviously that is a variation of this Glaive build that has been around for a really long time, but this particular one hasn't been very popular in Korea for a while.
Right.
Not many people have gone Dark Shrine behind the Glaives. I want to say it hasn't even been used this year at all. Not 100% sure if I'm right on that, but that's what it feels like to me. So we'll see. But the Overlord is flying in. He did not make any Stalker or anything to deal with that, so it seems like the Dark Shrine not likely going to do very much.
so these Adepts are going to come in here now. How prepared is DRG for this? He's going to nicely target down that one Queen. There is no transfuses available right now. He backs up. And that Dark Shrine's finished, so we should have 2 DTs, or 4 DTs even coming in here. And the idea is basically that, by the way, this is one of these moments where this doesn't even just pair nicely in a best of 3, but it pairs in a good group, because this looks like game 1 that we started Group C out in, but in fact there's a fork in the build where he goes DTs, hoping to blindside the Zerg and surprise him, but that Spore finishes just in the nick of time. I don't know if these DTs can get on top of it or not.
Yeah, it's kind of, oh man.
Whoa,
well,
whoa,
he
whoa.
shades into the main base. He actually picks up 2 DTs of the 3, so he does save some there with the Prism.
Oh, he actually saved them? I thought he lost all of them.
He saved 2. But the Adepts, like a lot of those are falling down now as well. Now, this type of build is what I was a little bit afraid of seeing Zoun do tonight, because he is partial to Glaive builds.
Yeah.
Is he doing enough with this?
No. I do not think he is, actually.
No, it doesn't seem it, because
I think that actually Zerg can counterattack and hit that 3rd Nexus that's being made and probably lock the Protoss into a 2-base game.
he might be able to. I wonder if he's going to drone heavily or just continue to make units, because his layer is not done yet, so he does need to get an Overseer before he can attack. Yeah, maybe the layer is so late here that he'll skip the counter. Like I think Zoun might just be okay based on that. I'm not sure though. It's like DRG does have a lot of lings. He does have a good amount of roaches. It would feel almost wasteful if he doesn't try to walk across the map and do something, you know?
Yeah.
But there's going to be like 2 Immortals out already. He can make some Archons. Oh god, he really doesn't have many units though. 2 DTs, 3 Adepts.
Well, he needs to kind of, how do I say this? You know, in like those like House of the Dead games, like the boss's chest opens up and you fire bullets into the red spot.
Mm-hmm.
He needs to find that only in DRG's base, where it's like you need to find like such good damage or get like all the drones and he's not paying attention, because right now DRG is, I think, going to be in complete control of this game.
Yeah, he is making a lot of roaches, so it seems like he is going to pull the trigger on an attack. Just 62 drones right now, so not working on that economy anymore. Getting that roach speed. It's going to be a massive attack. But the longer he waits, the more Immortals we're going to have.
Okay, this is not bad actually. If he could hiccup the 4th hatch, it's not all he needs, but it's a start, right?
Misses that swipe, and drone will make it out.
What is at the top right? What is that? Is that
Lings,
okay. Looks like he's going to try to come in here and get some probes.
Yeah, not going to get too much done. A lot of roaches and lings being made. It is a lot of army supply that's going to be coming across the map. Zoun needs to see this, and he needs to make like 1,000,000 batteries right now. Some cannons actually would be nice too, but it's coming quickly. And I mean, he warps in a few more units, but he doesn't have that much here.
Yeah.
All right, leaves 2 DTs in DT form.
Oh my god. Oh
Yeah.
my god. All right. This is over. This is completely done. There's no way to stop this. Zoun paying the price for the fumbled aggression there with the Adepts. He's going to lose this third base. You can see the Stalker speed microed back, but there's nothing you can do. DRG. Old Dirk.
Yeah, I feel like you got to be worried about those counterattacks, right? If you go Adepts, you always have to kind of look at that and say, okay, do I need disruptors or not, right?
Well,
and if you go DTs with the Adepts, that's like basically the 2 weakest units as the game goes on. Neither of those units are going to be good at fighting, so you really need like something heavy after that to deal with an attack like that.
Yeah, I think so. DRG, I mean, it's been a frustrating day for him so far with those losses to Cure, but I honestly think he probably will 2-0 this. I don't know. Zoun's PvZ just does not look like good. I mean, it doesn't look like it's going to work against, unless he's got a completely different style he's going to bring out. I think this is going to be a 2-0 or Doses.
Yeah, it very well may be. Blackbird, let's see it. It's time to go Sky Toss.
Yeah, but not like he did it against Rogue.
Well, don't make only Void Rays against Hydras.
Yeah. You'd think, just looking at a Void Ray, that definitely beats Hydras. It does not. Hydra Spit beats Laser Ship.
GSL Season 3, Codex. Team Envy, DRG. Alpha X, Zoun.
Another hatchery block. Let's see what Zoun
Yeah,
is
this
gonna
has
play
been
in this game.
this has been what Zoun likes to do in every game here. Try to dictate where the first hatchery cannot be.
I think it's fine.
Do you think if they do this, you should just take the gold base?
Oh, that's an interesting question, isn't it?
It just makes me think when I see that, I'm like, if I was Zerg, I'd be like, all right, okay, punk.
I think you could if you prepped that. Yeah, absolutely. Blocking hatches, I feel like we're seeing it at least 50% of the time, so you should be very well practiced against it.
You have to immediately know what to do. You can't be like, oh no, I wanted to expand there.
Yeah. So it might just have to do with like if you prepped a build for that. Gold bases are always great for Zerg though. Maybe a little bit hard on this map, right? Like you put an adept behind there, and you're just gonna be like,
yeah,
oh,
they've set the gold bases up so that there's really high risk.
Yeah.
There was a whole period where it was just people taking gold bases.
Well, yeah, when
Remember
they were less risk,
yeah,
it literally didn't even make sense to not take them.
Yeah, it's like, well,
as Zerg.
Yeah, absolutely. It does seem like Zerg have benefited way more than the other races for the gold bases because of the way they expand.
Sure, yeah.
It's just like,
Yeah, I think that's 100% true. Alright, that Cybernex score is going to be finishing here shortly, so we get to see what Zoun is going to do, his life on the line. Probe gets away. Let's see it, Zoun. Stargate. Alright, that's what I want to see. Seems like it would just be a good map for Sky Toss, doesn't it?
I think so. I think there's a lot of features on this map that kind of lend itself to Sky Toss, but I'm a little bit worried here if Zoun doesn't do something better, if he fumbles his Adept openings or anything else like that. You know, it's funny, looking at that last game, let me see if I can articulate this correctly. Zoun had a good start, and then there was this moment where he saw the DTs were coming to try to snipe the Spore. He wanted to fake them out with the Adepts and get into the main. And it's almost like, you know, in ice skating where there's like this one trick the ice skater's going to do, where they like
triple axle.
triple axle, or you know what I mean? They're going to do like some kind of front flip, and it's like if they land this, that's all they have to do to like win the ice skating tournament or whatever.
Ice skating tournament. Yeah, that's all you have to do, man.
Yeah.
When you do the front flip, your opponent
to
just,
win your ice sport
you
event.
cut him in half with the blades on your on your feet, man.
But it's like you've got to do this one move, and if you've done it and you land it,
yeah,
it's done.
Totally.
That's like what that last game was, where he was like trying to not only snipe the spore and therefore wipe out the natural, but also get in the main and wedge the adepts between the minerals and kill all the lings and roaches. But instead, it didn't work out. And that was basically the story of the last game. Not when DRG came and killed that third base. That was going to happen no matter what. That was inevitable.
Well, the thing is, when something like that is, you know, when they have that many units that they've made and you're on such weak units,
yeah,
generally you're gonna try to hedge. Either you know, we see a lot of adept builds that go into disruptors because otherwise it's hard to kill the roaches. Now, if you're gonna go immortals, I think it's probably doable, but you gotta really set up the static D, and we didn't see any of that. It's just, yeah, I don't know what's up with Zoun tonight. This is not the Zoun that we've been seeing in GSL.
Yeah, it's uncharacteristic of Zoun, who's really shown a lot of promise here in GSL.
Yeah. No, it's really not the same Zoun. This is like two kids in Zoun's jacket standing on top of each other's shoulders and stuff, playing for Zoun.
Yeah, yeah. It's three middle schoolers.
Like Zoun, they're like, yeah, we're Zoun.
Yeah,
yeah, we're Zoun.
We're gonna do our advanced Protoss builds now. 6 gates coming here off of that third base.
Oh, a mass charge attack going to be coming up. Okay.
Yeah, and so this is going to be quite different from the other games here. But I do want to say that what Zoun is basically set up, we talk about how this is like a really good build to throw in a best of 3 or best of 5. This is great to throw in a group selection because it does look like what he did in the second game against Rogue, but it's different. Just like what he did in the first game looked like what happened in game 1 against Rogue.
Yeah, yeah.
But there's like a little twist there.
Sure. I totally agree with that sentiment. Now, there's a Baneling Nest out, so charge lots can get wrecked, but I don't know that he's actually making Banelings yet. It looks like he wants to go into Lingbane Hydra. All right, warping in some Zealots here. And here we go. The Queen's coming up to fight. He has the Lings up here as well. Spore comes forward. Targeting down that Queen that has a lot of energy. Both the high energy Queens are now dead.
Oh,
Zealot's getting on top of everything. It looks like
It's
Zoun is finally going to be picking up a victory.
Yeah, this is looking like the point of no return. Zealots are just hitting from every single angle. You can see DRG was just not prepared for this attack to be sprung on him. GG. Zoun takes game 2. The path to redemption has started.
Yeah, okay. He gets him with the mass charge lot warp in. You know, the Void Ray kind of clearing out Overlords. He has an Oracle out there as well. And like you said, he made it look very similar to what he did against Rogue.
Right.
So DRG, it seemed as if DRG was maybe preparing to play against Sky Toss, you know, Lingbane Hydra, but just not ready for those Zealot warp-ins.
So you can see now, you know, DRG just blindsided by that attack. The prep Zoun put in there worked very well. Obviously, you can't replicate that game again in game 2. You know, some wins are won in straight up strong pushes and dominant plays. Sometimes wins, and especially for whatever reason, the theme of today is it's all about surprises. Sometimes you can catch them off guard. So let's see what Zoun does as we go into the final game with these two. On Romanticide, one of these two players is about to be eliminated. The other goes on to the final match to face off against Cure.
Team NV, DRG. Alpha X, Zoun.
Okay.
Yeah.
Game 3, go. Once again, we have the hatchery block here to relocate the hatchery, forced over to the what is normally the third base.
And, you know, this Romanticide, very turtleable. Definitely see a lot of longer games here.
Sure.
He was trying to go Sky Toss here against Rogue, so maybe we see that again. Definitely a possibility. DRG, in a lot of ways, having a very tough night, isn't he? Right? Like, he's lost to 3 very cheesy all-ins.
Yeah.
And he kind of won the game that went beyond that point.
Right.
Yeah, it's, I guess that can ruin a lot of preparation too, which is something I think that can be frustrating, right? If people are just doing like 1 base builds against you, or just very cheesy builds in general. Like, technically that was a 3 Nexus build that we saw Zoun do, but obviously you need a ton of damage with those charge lots to make that into something that's going to utilize 3 Nexuses.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, whatever DRG was prepping, because he generally plays macro, he hasn't really gotten to show any of that off.
That's right. It's been a fun night so far, man. Really good games. Really interesting strats being pulled off here.
It's been a weird night.
I would actually kind of like it if Zoun won, and we got to see what Cure looks like PvP.
Oh, I wouldn't mind that.
You know what I mean?
I've actually always liked Cure's TVP. I think he's pretty good at it.
Yeah.
But from what I've seen from Cure tonight so far against DRG and against Rogue, I actually am jonesing for some more Cure TVZ.
Yeah.
Also, I don't want him to lose. I actually want him in the next round based on how he played tonight, right?
Yeah.
And if he plays DRG, I think it's more likely he goes on than if he plays Zoun. All right, Stargate.
Yeah, the Adept going to shade up here. A lot of these starting points in the builds all kind of looking the same, but then what Zoun does is he has all these different branches and forks that he can take in the build order decision tree to decide how exactly he wants to approach the Zerg. We haven't really seen Zoun succeed today in any kind of like straight up macro games. I mean, the speed lot, the charge lot attack, you could see completely through the Zerg off. The Zerg just literally didn't have enough. The moment the first warp-in came in, the game was over.
Yeah, he didn't quite have it.
That can happen to Zerg when you've got like a bunch of queens you're going to try to defend with, and then you have a bunch of eggs that are going to hatch lings and roaches, but then all the queens die as everything hatches. It's like, okay, now you're dead.
Yeah.
That is a death sentence.
Yeah, you need a bit more intel, but that's what a Void Ray can do, right? It kills off the Overlord so quickly you can't really get him in. Even if you have a Speedlord on the way, if the Void Ray intercepts it, it's not going in, you know? Turn that sucker on.
Oh, yeah.
There's so many dead Overlords in this bad boy.
So many. I like you calling it a bad boy.
Yeah.
Like it's, I don't know, like a riding lawnmower or something.
Yeah. Imagine mowing your lawn with that. Get to the crabgrass, you turn it on. Because that's armored grass, you know.
Armored grass?
You get the extra damage.
But this lawnmower does splash damage. Did you have to
That's
mow?
how you get brown patches, though.
Did you have to mow your lawn, the lawn for your mom when you were a kid?
My lawn, like you went to my house once. Do you remember what my lawn looked like?
Your backyard was like almost
it's basically
forest.
A forest.
Yeah.
So it's not actually. There's nothing that's level. It's all trees. Like it's
That's
literally
true.
like
it's actually
like my house is on the edge of a forest.
It's not like it's grass with like a bird feeder somewhere, and, you know.
So not
really.
We have some grass, so I mowed a little bit, but it was not.
Oh, see,
it's so little grass.
I had to mow my lawn, and that was like the thing I had to do in the summer, and I would always forget to do it. I would play StarCraft all day, and my mom would come home, and I would hear her yell, and I'm like, oh no!
Yeah.
I didn't mow the lawn for the 3rd day in a row.
That's understandable.
Yeah, and it scarred me as a child, and now I live in a concrete jungle where I don't have lawns to mow. That's how I dealt with that.
That's why
I ran away from lawns because I was too traumatized.
Oh man! And you could have just been this amazing landscaper too.
I could have been a gardener, but no. Not from my childhood of trying to mow the lawn with a CD player that skipped as I mowed the lawn, trying to listen to Linkin Park.
Get pushed back there. So we do have the plus air attacks. Charge on the way. This is kind of interesting. So it's like, I like where we're going for Zoun this game. This looks much more reasonable. Like, he's getting a Templar Archives, right? So if you're going to be playing against something like Lingbane Hydra, you're going to be able to actually get into the Psystorm and fight against that. Look at this. 4 charged up Void Rays come over. And, I mean, the Queens...
Look at that.
Well, he forces the cancel.
The
I think it's worth
criminal.
The perfect criminal.
Yeah. Those Void Rays Ocean 11 their way out of there.
Okay, Spire being hidden in the bottom left, which is kind of interesting too. It seems like he wants to surprise him with a bunch of mutas, and obviously if you have the Spire somewhere where it gets scouted, he already has +1 air attacks. It would not be hard for him to make some Phoenixes and completely destroy them. But in this situation, like, he might be able to surprise him here.
Okay.
And look at this, he's making Static D and Psystorm.
Yeah.
I'm so proud of him, man.
I'm so proud of him.
Yeah.
Oh, look, this is looking a lot better than the other games here. And this is it for PvZ for Zoun today, if you can get out.
And DRG opening up the map a little bit. The thing is, DRG's not actually going to attack him. He's going to try to broadside him with 11 mutas, I think. 12 maybe. Yeah, 12. Ooh.
Nice snipe there on the Observer. The Zerg's beginning to crack open parts of the map so that they can easily get to different locations here. Protoss is quietly expanding directly at 6 o'clock.
14 mutas right now being produced.
Yeah. And I don't know how prepared Protoss is for that.
Not very. He has like an Archon, he has Psystorm, he has 4 Voids.
Oh, 2 Archons,
he has a few
actually.
Oh, okay, yeah. You know, he has a few cannons here and there, but not in great positions to stop Mutalist harassment. Of course, he can get some good anti-muta out. He has that +1 air. But in this situation, like 14 mutas, you could dive on these High Templars, and suddenly the army of Zoun is very, very weak.
So he sent some Zealots over here. That Zealot almost getting that second Queen. Wait, whoa, he just got in here. Yeah, those Zealots really did their job drawing the army away. And now he's going to basically wipe out the 4th base.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, the mutas are, yeah, they're still down here at 6.
Oh, it's taking him forever to actually hit anywhere with them, which is pretty problematic.
The thing is, he can actually just recall with this.
Okay, comes in, immediately going after some of these probes, but don't forget, he did lose a hatchery during all this. He's losing a lot of his creep, he's losing some Overlords. This seems like a favorable trade for Zoun at the moment.
All right, the mutas will win the fight here against, I'm actually so confused. He just recalled the Void Rays, okay. Well, this means that he's confident he can keep putting pressure on here, but I think that this may have been a miscalculation by Zoun that could cost him the game. I mean, his probes are getting annihilated. And I think that eventually Zerg will have enough to hold this off, but maybe I'm wrong. Hold on.
They're pretty good Psystorms, but no, he should be able to bust this now. As the Psystorms go down, you are going to be able to clean it up most likely.
Yeah, there's just too many Hydras, and I mean, these mutas are still killing workers. I think that this was a pretty big bungling.
Okay, let's take an actual look at where we're at in the game.
Let's take an actual look indeed.
An actual look, Tasteless, instead
of
just saying what we see on the screen.
Let's stop casting this with our eyes closed. How about that?
Yeah. Open your eyes, Tasteless, and tell me how many High Templars you see. Because truly, isn't that the measure of how a game is going?
It is truly that way. Before, I would only cast with my hands, feeling the screen and trying to tell the viewers what I thought was going on.
Ew, Sticky.
Ew.
He has a lot of creeps.
Yeah, ew, I feel brains. It's like, Tasteless, that's actually spaghetti.
Okay, I mean, it's a very good probe count. The actual standing army of Zoun is not very good. I think if you go Lingbane Hydra right now, you can probably kill the 4th. But you're coming in only from one angle, so maybe he can hold on because of that. But like, if you could kill one base right now as DRG, that might be enough to carry you through. Is this like you do not have the right army right now, Zoun? Tasteless. If you are Zoun, you don't have the right army. He doesn't either, even as Zoun himself.
Okay,
and I don't want to hurt your feelings, but he's better at StarCraft 2 than you.
Oh, well, you really hurt my feelings now, Artosis. In front of all these viewers, you told me that Zoun's better than me. You know that's my deepest insecurity. Every day I come to the studio, I'm like, come on, Tasteless, you can convince them. Oh, hold on, nice. Takes that out.
Yeah, some more Banelings we're trying to roll up here. Oh, he removes a cannon so that he can actually rotate a bit better. But yeah, this is kind of the nice thing about Romanticide. Zoun is able to hold on to all 4 of these bases because there's only 2 entry points.
What?
Wow.
That was so funny.
Dude. Yeah, those probes really. They split in every
the
which direction.
Probes are like doing barrel rolls like in between the Banelings.
They're playing Star Fox over here.
Okay, some nice storms, but I don't know if that's enough damage on these Hydras. I think actually DRG can keep pursuing here.
Yeah, totally. Like you just have to keep the High Templars alive. That is the very most important thing here.
The very most important thing.
Yeah. There's like many priorities, Tasteless, but the one priority here is building that High Templar count. You got those mutas that were attacking his gateway.
Yeah, that's right. Oh, what? This Immortal's like, I don't know either, guys. I don't know what I'm doing here.
I was supposed to be an observer.
Yeah,
no!
That's an observer rally point.
Oh, look at this. We have an Ultraless Cavern being made. That's cool. You know, against this type of army, if you don't have Ultras in there, I mean, if you don't have Immortals in there, Ultras are actually pretty darn good.
Yeah.
They do really well against Zealots. They absorb Psystorm very well. Archons do okay against them. But not as well as the cinematic would trick you to believe.
More Banes are coming up here, popping right on top of the Archons. And I worried, you know, for Zoun that DRG might just have too much. In any of these fights, he might just actually be able to bulldoze over the army.
But if you stay back, like if he doesn't commit out onto the map and he just kind of slowly pushes forward, I can see him still, I think he still has a chance if he's not, like, committing out onto creep. Ooh, these Banelings. Ooh. Okay, actually, he saves almost all his probes, so very well done.
Yeah, beautiful hold there by Zoun. That's exactly what he needs to do if he's going to win this.
Yeah, and look, he's getting into carriers, which is very, very nice. But I think he does need to take one more base very, very soon here. He's sending out quite a few Zealots. You know what? This is good.
Yeah, here it is. Bane's coming in and devastating the workers. 19 probes killed, but were those Banelings probably more important to be used to defend over here? I'm seeing a lot of action here where there's just nothing to defend here for DRG.
God. Yeah, Zoun actually kind of hits everywhere at once. He's actually hitting core locations.
Yeah, this is
fantastically
wild.
done.
And if
this is more the Zoun that we've been wanting to see here tonight.
Yeah, and I think he can actually push up onto the 4th. I think there's some Banes morphing, like 10, but I think he can actually force cancel. Yeah, I think he could have actually taken that.
And he runs back. I like the retreat. Okay, the Archons are going to stop anything from connecting with these High Templars for now. Oh, but the Ultras are coming.
Ooh, nice storms again. Really premium damage on top of those Hydras.
Yeah, that okay storm's still coming up. The Ultra's getting pretty low. If he can pick those off, that's really nice. Those are pretty expensive here. But did he lose all his High Templars?
Well, he's remade a bunch. Oh, this Ultra! Yeah.
Okay, clears that out too.
Gets oatmealed. Now, I think if Zoun can just regroup and power up again here, he'll be good. What's so funny?
You said you got oatmealed and it took me, you know like the old SNL skit where like the guy thinks of like the comebacks like 10 minutes later and uses a time machine. He's the coolest guy ever.
No, I don't know that, but that's a really funny concept.
Yeah, no, because you know sometimes you think of something, I'm like, oh, this would have been funny to say.
Yeah.
Because like I was like, oh, oatmeal. There's a lot of fiber in that. Yeah, those Ultras have fiberness plating. It was funnier in my head.
You need a time machine to go back and not say that. That's what you need.
I regret nothing.
Remember that time you really put yourself out there, Artosis? That was a big mistake. That was a big misstep by you. So DRG is right now on one. No, I guess he's actually on 2 bases. That top base at 12 o'clock at the top of the map has been reclaimed.
The Archons here are going to really help on cleaning that up.
So this is why Archons are good against Lings. Exhibit A over here. There's 91 drones in this game, Artosis.
Yeah, I know. He is Mr. Drone this game. All right, good thing we have a couple drones down there with that Spire. Keep it coming. You can build 2 more Spires so you can get a greater Spire and one at the same time. Keep them together so the macro is easier for upgrade. Can you imagine in a game like this if you wanted 3 Spires to put 2 more down? It would be the stupidest thing anyone could ever do.
Yeah. It's just easier. I forget otherwise. I have 2 Spires in my main.
Yeah. I'm going to forget to get
really,
2 carapace.
It's really just my macro style to put it down there.
I just like my buildings together. Oh, man. Okay, here we go. Oh, no. These High Templars got to keep them like, oh, nice. He pulls them away from the Ultra.
It's totally fine.
Yeah. This is... I'm starting to like this for Zoun, man. He's really getting quite a nice composition. We do have some infestors added in now.
But I do think that there is a fighting chance right now for DRG.
Yeah.
And if he can just get control of all of his bases and get back to where he was before and then not mess up with not having Banelings there to defend, I think he's going to be okay.
Mm-hmm. Let's see what these infestors are going to get done. I mean, Fungal plus Ultra Hydra attacking, that is, like, nothing can really kite at that point. We do have a couple of 5 Immortals out right now. Where did those come from? Oh, these Immortals are going to be very unhappy with that.
The drones are long-distance mining right now.
Oh, yeah. Okay, lives an infestor. Gets mass bungled here.
Serious storms here, man. This is a lot of damage. I don't see the Hydras being microed out of it. It seems like DRG's confident he can force this fight. The Ultra's still in the front, soaking up so much damage as the Hydras deal it from behind.
Yeah, he lost all of his High Templars, unfortunately, there without even casting all of his Storms. Those Fungals definitely doing a great job, having a hard time pulling them back. I guess Zoun ends up, like, pushing him back for now, but he doesn't have splash damage, and he's continuing to push forward with low shield Archons and not many interceptors. That is not a good push forward. Right, he's trying to get back, but the Ling's coming up and surrounding.
Oh, this
Look
is
at the
pretty
amount
good.
of units he's losing now.
I think DRG's got this. He's pushing forward. I don't know if there's going to be enough time. Archons do eventually morph in.
This overcharge doing some serious work, though.
Yeah, but it can't last for too much longer. And barely Zoun survives that, but
I think if he insta-pulls away there, he's actually in very good shape here. But
yeah, I
agree.
he
was a bit late on it, and we don't have any High Templars, which is making these Hydras way stronger than they should be.
DRG almost maxed out as well. He's going to be pushing in shortly here.
Okay, Ling's coming up and trying to block everything from getting away. In fact, he does catch one of the Immortals. Looks like another one's going to get caught here as well. Okay, backs up. I feel like Zoun is feeling more pressure than maybe he should. Like this, the game is not very good for him right now. Like, it definitely looks like DRG is starting to take some serious control, but Zoun is attacking out with his army before it's truly ready. If you do not have Psystorms to help deal with Hydras, I don't think that you should attack, right? Like, that's the whole thing. They're kind of glass cannon-y. Like, if you throw a Storm on them, they're in trouble. But if you're not even hitting them, they're dealing so much damage from behind.
By the way, DRG is getting to the point of, like, no return here. He's going to take the 2 bases at the top right. He's taking this base that's at 9 o'clock as well. There's not going to be much left on the map for Zoun to soak up here. And I think, again, with him maxing out here, he's just looking for an opening. It's hard when you have an opponent that doesn't have that many bases, and they're pretty well turtled to find any area to hit. I wouldn't mind actually seeing a Nidus network in the main or something.
Oh, yeah, that would be nice.
Oh, boy.
Oh, man. That is so stressful watching those Banelings. Oh, it got the High Templars. Oh, turn the probes around, let them die. Keep those High Templars alive.
Templar was like jumping on top of a grenade for him. It's like, no, we need you.
Just making the greater spark in the bottom left, Tasels.
No, he's not.
He is.
Oh, he is. You're right. I thought you were actually joking. I'm like, haha, Toast, you're so funny. And I'm like, oh, yeah, he's just going to go there. All right.
Yeah. But where's his 2 upgrades, Spires?
So he might actually have finished him off with Broodlords here, or Corruptors even.
Yeah, the Broodlord switch, I think it seems pretty smart.
Yeah, I think it makes sense.
Funny attack coming in both sides right now. Fungals go down. Now there you go. You throw those storms out, he has to turn around. Dude, Ultras are cool. They just look cool.
They are cool. Another fight over here. You know, Zoun does have to get to another base ring next to expand.
No.
Oh my god. Big connects with that fungal. The carriers, all this hard work that he built up to is getting decimated. Nothing on the ground survives in that fight back there. And now the Hydras and the Ultras are going to push forward. More than double the supply of his opponent here. This game is over. DRG wins and will get his rematch against Cure.
Yeah, all right. Well, I think that's going to be a great match. Zoun, I think he played pretty well this game, but
yeah,
he definitely was wasting Army a lot of times. Like, he wasn't retaining some of his high-quality units. He was attacking out before his army was really ready several times. Unfortunately, DRG was able to take him down. I'm hoping, you know, the next Super Tournament come up. He's been doing well in Super Tournaments. Maybe we can see a reinvigorated Zoun there, but this was his worst tournament this year for us.
For sure. Maybe he's in the middle of a growth spurt in his gameplay. That can happen. You've got a lot of new ideas you're working with, but you haven't really ironed out your play.
Sure.
But, you know, Zoun, who is basically on the rise, has now been flushed out in the round of 16. Coming up next, DRG versus Cure. Quick commercial break. We'll be right back.